This is the Gleaner's Corporate Coffee Mornings, and my guest today is none other than Mr. Charles Ross, President and CEO of Sterling Asset Management. Welcome, Mr. Ross. Welcome to the Gleaner.
Thank you very much, Barbara.
Okay. Now, Sterling has been a household name pretty much in Jamaica for how long? Tell me how long and what is it that you do exactly?
Well, it's 14 years since we started the business, and we are a licensed securities dealer. So we deal mainly in financial instruments and mainly in US dollar denominated medium to long term investments.
Why mainly US dollar investment?
Well, when we looked at the market initially, we found that it was very focused on the short term and very focused on high interest bearing Jamaican dollar investments.
Right.
But when we looked at the trend in the exchange rate over the long term, we realized that if people were investing for the long term, they would be better off investing in US dollars. And at the time, there were high yielding US dollar investments out there. There were Jamaican government bonds in US dollars, which dealers would own and retail at much lower rates to their clients. And we thought, well, why not offer those investments directly to the clients and let them get the better returns that they could from those instruments?
So being primarily US dollar investments, who would be your typical client?
Well, our typical clients are older people, people who've retired, people, professionals, business people, executives in their 40s, 50s, 60s,
Okay.
who are looking to retire and who want to build up some savings, which will earn them a stable income during their retirement.
You're a Jamaican company. Do you have clients overseas? Can you tell me some of these countries where you have clients?
Well, we do have clients all over the world. As you
Okay.
know, Jamaicans are people who travel widely.
Yes.
We have clients in Asia, in the Middle East, elsewhere in the Caribbean, one or two in North America. So that we really cover a very wide geographical area.
Okay. And you are, like most companies, run by a board of directors.
Right. We have a board of directors.
This is Women's Month, March. Do you have any women on your board?
We do have a woman on the board, yes.
One woman out of how many board
Out of
members?
four.
Out of four,
So it's
okay.
25%.
So that's not so bad.
No.
Okay. And where do you see Sterling in the next 14 years? Let's
Wow.
keep it to 14.
Well, we've been very fortunate and we've had a very high rate of growth so far.
Right.
We want to keep that going for as long as we can.
Yes.
We see ourselves diversifying into private equity. Basically, any investment activity that can generate good returns for the medium to long term with moderate risk.
Now, the parent company is Sterling Asset Management, but you also have Sterling Investment, an investment arm of the company.
Well,
What's the difference? Is there like a subtle difference, or
there is a very important difference.
Okay.
Sterling Investments Limited is an investment company, and it's an investment company which is quite separate from Sterling Asset Management. Sterling Asset Management is the investment manager for the firm. So we basically set the investment policy and execute the investments on behalf of the company. But Sterling Investments Limited has its own separate board. It's listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, and it's actually registered in St. Lucia, so that it provides certain income tax benefits to the investors, the shareholders
Yes.
of Sterling Investments Limited.
Okay. And how old is the investment arm now?
Well, it was
Sterling
formed
Investment.
in 2012, and
Okay.
it actually began operations in December 2012. So it's actually just over 2 years old.
And how has it been? What's the financial health of that
Well,
one?
it's done pretty well. The shares are up about 35%, 34-35% in value over that 2-year period. We listed it on the stock exchange in October last year,
Right.
So it's just been on the exchange for a few months.
What's the total asset under management that you have now?
Do you mean
In
Sterling Asset Management?
Management, yes.
We have about 180 million US of assets under management within all the various areas of investments that we manage.
Okay. This is the Gleaners Corporate Coffee Mornings, and we're talking to Mr. Charles Ross, and he is President and CEO of Sterling Asset Management.